Favorite guys doing your favorite show.
We're back.
Let's do it.
Not the Nuggets, just us.
Let's go.
We're back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge.
Let's go. Technically yes.
We are live from the Toyota Winners Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. And we're presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Because it's never ordinary with Bet365. Never ordinary at all.
Or the Denver Nuggets.
Today was no different. The Nuggets get the win. A tough win. A win where you really just got to grind it out and grit your teeth.
Not everyone can go into the nest and come out with a W, Harrison.
And that's what the Nuggets did tonight. 107-104. 2 straight wins for the Denver Nuggets to close out this road trip.
Count them.
And we're going to talk all about it. I'm Harrison Wynn, joined by Brendan Vogt.
You think you know the relief of the Nuggets coming up at the last second, but you don't know the relief of not having to do a Charlotte's Hornets losers lounge. There's really nothing quite like it. And so that's the energy and headspace I think Eric and I are going to be in for the next hour.
That's D-line.
We're going straight. Oh, one more. We're going 2 in a row, guys. 2 in a row. 2, I would say, the most inspiring wins we've seen the Denver Nuggets rattle off back to back. Wow. You know?
Yeah, wow was really the only thing left to say.
We did it, guys.
The only thing left to say after this one. This was an ugly game. This was a game that was predictable. I think on the pregame lounge, we predicted correctly that this was going to be a game that the Nuggets didn't necessarily get up for. And my God, did they not. But they did get the win. 107-104.
Winners Lounge.
We'll go to our big takeaways. We'll talk about this one. But first, let's hit the fast recap and the first note of this game. Sometimes it tells the whole story. Sometimes it does not. A Charlotte bad, Jokic good. Those are my first 2 notes of this game.
I don't even know if that counts.
First half, that was kind of accurate for some of it. I mean, the first quarter of this game, the Nuggets got out to a 27-20 lead. That's what they outscored them in the first quarter. So that held up. Right? That was happening at that point. My third note: Zeke Nnaji in at the 4 next to Nikola Jokic.
First quarter, right?
Yes.
Zeke Nnaji minutes in this game. He ended up playing 22 minutes.
Dude.
Quickly, so go look up when was the last time Zeke Nnaji played 22 minutes. Or somebody in the Toyota chat looked that up.
I don't even know how to look that up.
Yeah, stupid question. Sorry.
5.
That was a stupid ask for you. My bad.
I definitely need like Deep Seek involved or something. I can't find that out on my own.
Jalen Pickett also in. This was a Jalen Pickett game as well. He played 15 minutes. Nuggets up 22-15, getting whatever they want on offense. And then Christian Braun started coming alive. CB did everything in this first half. Made threes, got to the rim, got out in transition, defended. This was a big game from Christian Braun. Second quarter, more from CB. Not a good Jamal Murray stint. He really struggled in the first half. Charlotte did get back into this game at that point, though. And then a couple good Zeke moments. A block at the end of the first half. He had 3 blocks in the first half. Some bright spots from him defensively.
Free 22.
It was 54-46 at the end of the first half. Nuggets led. Third quarter, Nuggets actually started off really good. Then Charlotte got back into this thing. It was an ugly third quarter for the most part. The Nuggets got out or just outscored the Hornets 36-35 in that quarter. Not a lot of defense. And then it was a 5-point game all of a sudden early in the fourth. Zeke Nnaji did dunk all over somebody in that fourth quarter. Was making good plays defensively, but the Nuggets just could not get a stop, man. It was ugly, ugly basketball from Denver. A 4-point game somehow with 6 minutes left. Then a tie game at 94 all. There was a Jokic goaltending call that I don't think was goaltending.
Horse hockey.
I don't know if they called Jokic for a foul. Like I couldn't even hear what the play was.
They called it on Jokic.
That's right. Yeah, it was Jokic with
Jokic.
The goaltend. 100-100. Bridges drives right through the Nuggets defense. Somehow, Miles Bridges was just getting this switch onto Jamal Murray.
It wasn't somehow.
Every single play.
Very intentional.
Extremely intentional.
Going right to the rim.
Yes.
But a Jokic and one cut the Hornets lead to 104-103 with 30 seconds left. Somehow Charlotte then just bungled the end of this game, it seemed like. They missed an open three. Jokic got the rebound, got fouled, hit a couple foul shots, and the Hornets couldn't really get anything off and then just didn't really get a good look on their last possession. Nuggets get the win, 107-104.
Kind of understated it, man. Miles Bridges, who looked like he was going to deliver the win, took one of the worst shots I have seen.
It was terrible.
I thought he was going to wait it out, first of all, but then
taking it right at it.
That's also really quick win. Just going back, Maxey too. Last night he took that 1-3 with like 60 seconds left or 90 seconds left. It just felt like both of those guys probably could have gotten to their spots if they wanted to.
It's bad to not be us, guys.
Thankfully, that's
not
how it worked out.
Yeah, Nuggets get the win, 107-104. And they've won 2 in a row.
2 in a row. Count them. Can you?
We're going streakish.
Let's get to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. D-Line, you're up first.
Wow, what an honor. What an absolute honor. What a pleasure it was to watch this game with you two gentlemen, with you, Kale, everyone that came to the bar. There was a good crowd out tonight, and I feel like everyone showed up except for most of the Nuggets for most of the night. My Big Hawk Roofing, Red Hawk Roofing.
My Big Hawk
Roofing.
Yeah, we've only done 50 of these this year.
Kale, fire it up!
What?
Fire it up!
Oh my God!
You know the new one.
Oh my God!
Is Zeke back? Zeke is back. The Zeke Bacometer. Holy smokes! We saw the greatest.
This is the greatest piece of artwork in DNVR history.
Zeke Nnaji. What do you have? 5 blocks? 6 blocks? Like he was
5 blocks in 22 minutes.
Dude, okay, so this game, my real takeaway is that this game was absolute absurdity. There's no universe that it should have been that close. This was a 20-point victory by the Denver Nuggets that they just snuck inside of a 4-point or 3-point sweat out. But listen, man, Zeke Nnaji coming off the bench, being the 4. Is there something there, fellas? Do we think that there's something moving forward? I'll answer my own question. No, there's not, but it was amazing to see. What a game.
I'm going to do it right off the bat.
Yeah?
Minus 17 in 22 minutes against the Hospital Hornets.
Shut up.
Hey,
He's back.
I've always said single game plus minus means nothing.
He's back.
He did block 5 shots. He did block 5 shots. And honestly, I'm glad
such a hater, dude.
I'm glad he got all 5.
You're such a hater,
I just
dude.
think it makes it even funnier. He
Hater.
actually did have a couple of nice defensive possessions, not just the blocks, but I think
He had a couple great defensive
keeping
possessions.
his feet in front of guys. Yeah, man. Those are. Look, 22 minutes from Zeke Nnaji is not anything we saw coming. So
definitely did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming.
That's the understatement of the year.
To use a phrase that I just came up with, that was not on my bingo card for 2025, guys.
It wasn't?
Zeke Nnaji,
5 blocks. Not on my bingo card.
You know what was on my bingo card? Them beating the Hornets easily. That also what didn't show.
I promise you I have not seen any post-game stuff from the locker room. This is the most surefire Zeke Nnaji DPOG chain. This is the easiest DPOG chain to ever give out in the Jokic era.
What does Bet365
This is
has
like
out
minus
right
a million Zeke Nnaji.
I'm still taking
You
it.
have one opportunity to give it to him. You give it to him.
if Malone does it, things have been so bad lately. He doesn't always do it.
I know. He might bungle the DPOG chain tonight. A lot of pressure. It's just an easy one. But
The one thing you can count on any member of the Nuggets to do down the stretch for the last 2 months is bungle it. So
just a lot of bungling.
A lot of dude. We're bungling. We're grundling. We're just doing everything.
Munders, grundles, and bungles, baby.
Yeah. All right, Vogt. We're on Red Hawk Roofing big
after
takeaways.
all that, I honestly do not remember what my big takeaway was. I will say shout out Christian Brown.
Yes.
To less of a take
That's
and
it.
more of an obvious more of an obvious shout out because he not a career high, although we saw that recently, but definitely a career or felt like a career first half, right? I mean, he was scorching hot and a lot of confidence too. So a couple of games in a row, really way more than that actually. A really solid stretch now where Christian Braun has looked like the second or third best player on any given night. And I know the second half had dried up for him tonight, but it's a big part of the reason why they had any cushion to work with at all in a game where it seemed like 80% of people on the floor at any point in time were only so invested. That was never a problem for Christian. And, you know, it's been a nice sustained stretch for Christian. It's been a great season now for Christian. It wasn't just the start, but he's rebounded after a slight slump. And I think we can just call it a really, really good season for Christian so far.
Browntown is expanding, man. Browntown is a certified city at this point. It started off as a small municipality,
right?
A township.
It looks like it's
right there,
just north of Charlotte. Look at that.
North of Charlotte, about 50 miles north.
Wow.
Right northwest of Noda.
I was just going to say, it's creeping in on Noda.
And a little east of Pawtucket. What are these cities?
I don't know, dude. Those sound like jokes from Family Guy.
South End? What is this, Boston?
I was going to say, have you guys been to North Carolina?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Not to
really
Charlotte.
Lovely. Really lovely.
I've done
yeah.
the Raleigh-Durham circuit.
I did. It wasn't called Browntown when I went, but
Well, yeah,
it is now.
It was
next time I
established
go.
today.
He also grabbed 11 rebounds tonight, by the way, which was awesome, and a couple of those really mattered. So, look, you needed every ounce of CB's hustle, especially without Russell Westbrook, who I think his play has ebbed and flowed in the very recent stretch. But when you're talking about guys carrying and not wanting to lose to the Hornets, you know, they're 1 and 2 on the list in terms of wearing it on their sleeves. And Christian really brought it tonight, and pretty awesome, man. He's become such a good finisher, among the best finishers maybe ever for guys that straight up don't have moves. But he doesn't need any. He just goes through. He kind of Euro steps, but it's even really more just getting to his right. And
he's like a tall guy looking for women. No moves, finishes every time.
Just kind of walk up in the spot.
Yeah, you're just like, hey. Yeah, hey, sup.
Joker Russ just hit him when he's wide open under the rim. He's like, that was easy. See you guys later. I can't relate, but it does look fun. And shout out Christian, who's just had a really, really, really good year. And this is one thing the front office was right about, just identifying that Christian would be ready to do this. Now, the KCP conversation's bigger than that. I understand. Maybe you could have both, but them tabbing
Christian Braun won't be doing this with KCP.
Them tabbing Christian as a guy who could do this, they were right about that. And shout out to Christian for really playing well all year.
Yeah, that's my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway also. Earlier this season, before the season started, one of the big questions with Christian Braun was, can he fill in for KCP and can he just be a starter? I mean, the answer to that is unequivocally yes.
Yep.
Like, there is zero doubt in anybody's mind now that Christian Braun is not just like a starting caliber 2-guard. He's an above average 2-guard.
Yeah.
He's a good starting 2-guard in this league. And look, if the most improved player award was actually an award that people take seriously and don't just give to a guy who jumps from like all-star level to slightly above that.
No, it's going to be Cade cutting
Exactly. Like some bullshit like that. Sorry, Kale, for writing a report
right
on that.
Right up, Kale!
I'm not in charge. I think BS should be cool, but it's not.
I mean, I actually
the
don't
thing
know
to take
if
away
that's
from
one of
that
the
is
words. I
that
was just assuming.
Vogt is not in charge
of anything.
If the most improved player
Anything
award
at
was
all.
actually something that people seriously had some real criteria for, Christian Braun should be front and center in that conversation.
Yeah, so true.
Going from 7 points to 14 points a game.
It's incredible.
And it feels like that number is still rising. 58% shooting from the floor, 39% shooting from 3, 83% shooting from the line. That has jumped way up too. He shot 70% from the line last year. 4.7 rebounds per game. More assists. Like, he's making plays all over the floor, and he's shown he's absolutely capable of playing as a starter in this league. So, I mean, look, the Nuggets defense has obviously taken a step back this year. I don't think KCP's inclusion would automatically fix things. I still think with KCP here, just they would have been a bad defense. Would they be a little better in spots? Yeah, would their screen navigation and their on-ball defense be better? Absolutely, but I don't think it would have fixed the defense. I think the Nuggets probably made the right call with that. And like Christian Braun is blossoming into an awesome player. He's really coming into his own.
I mean, he's just the steadiest player ever. The Nuggets as a unit are basically always fighting against the aesthetic narrative set against them. Nikola Jokic, Christian Braun doesn't look like a basketball player. There's a lot of guys that like don't really look the part. Christian Braun, I would say, like you don't expect him to be a really solid basketball player by the looks of him. He is just like, I wouldn't even say he has like really great fundamentals. It's just, he just is tenacious. He's tenacious CB, you know what I mean?
Tenacious CB.
But truly, he's so, like, I cannot believe his ability to finish at the rim on any time that he takes a direct route for, like Vogt mentions, like he's largely bagless, but it doesn't matter.
But
like
he's effective. He
just has any number of
goes through you.
finishing moves that and they all work.
What is this kind of late up and under he's been?
I know, with the English too.
Yeah, the English.
Yeah. Let's hit a break and we'll talk a little bit more about CB and talk about who else stood out in this game right after this.
Well, it's a Saturday. The game's out of the way, and it certainly was not a loss. That's a fact. You can Google it if you're looking to celebrate by recreating responsibly, may I humbly suggest. Our friends at Live Well that help you live well with over 25 convenient Colorado dispensary locations. Got a premium selection, expert service that awaits you. When they say expert service, D-Line, it really just means that they also smoke weed. No, but they know a lot about the product, so they can help you figure out what kind of strain you're looking for, what kind of experience you're looking for. The real benefit of having a dispensary is it's not just like, oh, haha, we can go get this stuff. It's you can really kind of take stock, learn, and sort of like, if you're doing this, what's the exact experience you're looking for? It doesn't have to make you anxious, doesn't have to make you too sleepy, and you can work all of that out with your bud tenders.
Yeah, just as a word of advice, don't go in looking to be too anxious or too sleepy.
No, I'm saying some people try some and they go, yeah, that was terrible.
They're like, I'm looking for a terrifying night where I fall asleep.
It could have been the strain and another one might be better. Yeah, I'm looking for one that really just makes me miss my mom, you know? Yeah, mention code DNVR25 in store. Receive 25% off one regular price. Item restrictions do apply. Live well. 25 convenient Colorado locations. And how about our friends at Breck Distillery? Breck Distillery.
Great
Slight
friends.
change of pace. Still really good product. And Breckenridge Bourbon Whiskey is the official bourbon and vodka of the Denver Broncos, so that's fun. The world's highest distillery, the Breckenridge Distillery, was founded in 2008. They are most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey, a high rye mash American-style whiskey. Breckenridge Bourbon is one of the most highly awarded craft bourbons in the U.S. I like this read because I really actually like their whiskey. There's a great bar with a lot of great sports on near me, not as close as the DNVR bar. So when I need a spot near the
you're
home,
not talking about the DNVR bar?
Yeah, they sell a lot of great Breckenridge whiskey. They do here too at the bar as well.
Yes, we have
What's
that
the
bar.
H?
The DNVR bar.
What are the worst pitch man we have?
I know. Do we have? I've never had it. Do we have it?
Of course we have it.
All right, cool. I'm going to check it out. It's really good. That's the real takeaway. Use code DNVR at checkout for free shipping on all orders over $99, by the way. Learn more at BreckenridgeDistillery.com.
And we are back in the Winners Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores from the Toyota Winners Lounge. And we're presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Bet along with us. We nailed the Christian Braun portion of our bets tonight. I think he hit his over in rebounds in the first quarter. He had 7, I think, in the first.
Yeah, that was not close to not hitting. That went easy.
Dude, but Christian's mentality tonight, man, and this happens a lot when you're in the NBA and you're on a team like the Nuggets and you play a team like the Hornets. But, like, if you just play really hard, take it to the rim with some conviction, go strong, and just try to finish, like, you're probably going to score. And that's kind of what Christian Braun did the entire first half.
Yes.
And he was met with no resistance. Again, like, the Nuggets kind of sold this game. They folded on defense. They couldn't hit anything in the second half, and it got away from them. But I just love his mentality and the attack mode he was in to start this game. Like, that was, if he's not that, Like, the Nuggets probably lose this. But he came out with exactly the right attitude.
I've said this before, but the championship year, I asked Bruce Brown why bad teams, I did put that in air quotes if you're not listening, if you're not watching, although maybe the Hornets don't need the air quotes, why bad teams can sometimes sneak up on you in the NBA, how that happens. And it's that. It's them attacking the game more than you. It's them playing harder than you. Organizations tank. Players are usually playing for opportunities, auditions, more playing time. Players don't typically tank, although Miles Bridges maybe did tonight. But
Actually, I don't know.
But organizations tank. And so what you can't do is allow them to come in and play harder than you. And that is something the Nuggets just do. That just has been an Achilles heel for this team for a long time, I think. And even in the years where they're great, I think they just, some nights they go, yeah, they really want it tonight. And Christian is a guy like Westbrook that pushes against that via his nature, right? You just put him on the floor. That's who he is. They needed every ounce of it tonight. And it's just something that between, Murray and Mike and even Jokic at times, although it's to much smaller extent, like sometimes they just don't care as much or play as hard. And Christian does. And the results are just production, man. Production night in, night out.
Another guy who you got more on CB?
Not really. It's just like it's cool. It's cool. This is like why it's fun to watch basketball year over year.
Yeah.
It's because it's fun to have beliefs about what a player's ultimate ceiling and their floor are and is. And I don't think that many of us knew exactly what to expect from Christian Braun, other than first off, like our first impression, our first reports from people at Kansas was that he was going to be a bit of an instigator and sort of just like a guy that kind of got under your skin, maybe like a Jose Alvarado kind of guy, sure. Whatever, like just sort of a pestering like Dylan Brooks or something. But he's not that player at all. He's just a very solid, fundamentally sound, pretty like unflappable mentally also. Like he doesn't really get shook, which is great. He's always, you don't really see him spiraling out and like making like bad decision after bad decision like some of our top players do from time to time. So it's cool. Like it's cool to watch the ascension of Christian Braun and to see him again colonize this great nation of ours.
You can't keep
why?
doing that. I can't keep calling him a colonizer, man.
Why?
Colonize Browntown tonight.
He said it doesn't have to involve all of
it's a very peaceful colonization. Hi, how are you?
No,
I'm Christian Braun. I now own this territory.
We're going to set up a colony on Mars. Like, what's the problem?
I know how literally you mean it. I'm just, it's funny. Yeah. It's funny.
This area right above the south end, that's mine. Nikola Jokic in this game, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 17 assists. He should have had like 25 assists in this game, but the Nuggets shot 7 of 37. That's 19% from 3-point range today.
That was a big, honestly,
4 steals from Jokic, 1 block. I mean, his defense was god-awful for a lot of this game as well. In 37 minutes. Honestly, this game felt a lot like the other night in Portland, where he just kind of turned it on when he needed to a little bit down the stretch. But I don't know. What did we think of Yoke's game tonight?
Just like the last game. I mean, the ultimate, when I'll do enough when it's needed, and he has as good of a read on that as almost anyone I've ever seen. Maybe I think LeBron's maybe only his only peer at just sort of, okay, it's now when I do it, and that should be enough. Yeah. I mean, look, with Jokic, I don't really not worried offensively at all. Even after that 120-10 game or whatever, you just never worry about it. But you do want him to be more engaged defensively. So I am thrilled with the 4 steals tonight. I will say that. A little more active when it mattered. And then you just know in the clutch you can trust him always.
Of course.
I'm not, it's just more, it's not even really being worried. I was more frustrated with Jokic's defensive effort. But that's a different statement than saying you're worried about Jokic. I am not worried about Jokic. And, tonight he delivered that win down the stretch again.
He got a triple-double in 22 minutes today.
Dude, he actually had an incredible night.
Gave up.
He came right out of the gate and was playing. Like, it was like, oh, okay, phew. We're not getting a protest game. I mean, like, there were points during the game when the Nuggets got up by a lot, where I think almost every player on the Nuggets sort of took their foot off the gas and they started to do like we all did and just watch Zeke work.
Yeah.
And it got unreasonably close, but that's the thing, is that the Nuggets know, for better or for worse, that they have they've got the final punch lined up. They always have Nikola Jokic available down the stretch to hit a bucket anytime he wants, like he could whenever he wants to. So, but I did like that. This did not feel like a game that you would call in any sense a protest game. It a little sag in the middle, but in general, like I was happy with his effort.
Yeah,
but again,
probably agree.
defense is bad. But again, that's not just his fault. But
No.
It is also not his fault.
It was also really just more of those last 3 games that it was. And Pilgrim saying we're crazy as D was good this game. Tonight I thought it was better. I'm just
Mailform corner.
in that 3 game. Damn it! In that 3 game stretch, I just thought he in particular just wasn't doing it. But again, noting that I think is very different than just saying, like I'm worried about Jokic or Jokic is the problem, or it's an hour-long show and you talk about just about all these guys every night. So there's observations to make about all of them, and it's not all just this guy won it, this guy lost it, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that great. He did hit those 2 free throws down the stretch.
He did. That is his one.
And we were pretty certain he was going to go 1 of 2.
That is his one Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Is clutch free throws for Nikola Jokic. That is the final peak he needs to climb in his career. And apparently he saved it all for tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. So we salute you, Jokic. Thank you.
Other starters here, Jamal, real quiet first half and then came alive in the second half. Finished with 20 points, 5 assists, just 1 of 6 from 3 though. Did not have the fro going in this game. Little disappointed in that.
He did not.
Yeah,
was
but
just
it
like
wasn't
a lesser version. Sure.
It wasn't. Yeah, wasn't like it wasn't Philly.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
MPJ 0-6 from 3, 10 rebounds though. He did get on the glass, 4 offensive rebounds. His 3-point shot wasn't going, but liked how he picked it up on the glass. AG, a second straight game from him where pretty quiet, just kind of floated throughout the game. It seemed like did finish as a game high plus 21. But it still feels like we're not really seeing Aaron Gordon,
My favorite Aaron Gordon play was when he did block that shot on the straight line drive layup to the right hand. I actually don't even remember who it was, but
I'm going to guess Miles Bridges.
It's a good guess. Because it felt like AG hasn't made that play all year. I know he's been nursing the calf thing literally since the preseason. But this team can score, man. I think where they have missed Aaron Gordon most is defensively. In either the games that he's literally not been there or the games where he was, looked like he was laboring. And I, you see, like, he's not a peak athlete right now. His peak athleticism, not anywhere close. So it's nice to have him back, but I just think you'll start to feel Aaron Gordon's impact most if he can get it back on the defensive side right now. He's another option besides Christian and Peyton and Russ that they haven't had all year. And it hasn't been good when he's been on the floor. So, I liked that block, and I'm hopeful that he can trend in the right direction there as they go forward.
Yeah. It's just like, what do you think about the Nuggets defense this year? There are a lot of reasons why it's been terrible. KCP leaving, I think that's a reason it's gone down, taking a little step back. But maybe a bigger one is it just AG hasn't been right all year.
Big piece.
And he is really the backbone of the Nuggets defense. He's kind of the glue, I think, that holds it all together when they're playing really well. And just him not having the same burst, him looking as sluggish as he has, I think that might be the number one overall reason. And Jokic defense, his regular season defense, I even think has taken a step back this year. But there are a lot of reasons why the defense hasn't been good. AG's just how sluggish and the little burst he has had, I think, is a big reason why.
Yeah, man, the Nuggets really need to figure out the straight line defense. We really got to figure this out. It is putting everybody in a bad situation. It really exacerbates an already sort of poor and porous defense, and it obviously really exploits their biggest weakness, which is that they don't have rim protection.
Yep.
And when the
You
guard
can't
is able
have really bad point of attack defense if you don't have rim protection. Those
cannot.
two things don't work.
And they make each other worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
so it's just the one side is fueling the other. That being said, the Hornets only scored 104. I mean, like the Nuggets did not. I mean, it wasn't just an absolute apocalypse. Luckily,
did you
early
see
on,
who they had playing tonight?
yes,
that was the
luckily
issue.
early on, like the Hornets when
Isaiah Wong, 0 of 6.
I think that the entire internet dubbed the Charlotte Hornets the worst basketball team they ever saw, and then
Yeah,
they
that was
just
me.
stormed back, went up by 4 on the Nuggets with under.
I mean, Nick
minute.
Smith-
Vasimicic, our Serbian brother, he was terrible.
He didn't have a great game, and,
then
you know,
got hurt.
I hope he's okay. We did every time I've seen him play, he gets hurt, but I do hope he's okay.
Yeah. Let's hit another break. Stick around. New segment coming up
What
after this.
is it? Another Zeke-based segment?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
I don't
Stay
know.
tuned.
Grundles, Munders, Bungles, and more.
No
This-
Munders.
this
No
game-
Munders tonight.
No Munders tonight. Mando is a men's deodorant brand that's hyper focused on keeping every aspect of a man's body smelling fresh and clean. If you think about it, yes, the armpits smell, they sweat. It's a very small part of the body. If you've thrown a stripe on your armpits, you probably haven't done the full job. And
I
Mando,
found myself since we started doing this read, considering my grundle more than I have at other times in my life. You know what I mean? I'm like, is it ready? Is it ready to go out?
yeah, I mean that's what they want. That's the kind of mindset they're trying to cultivate. Make sure you think about your grundles too. That's the thing, man. It's a whole body thing, body odor. And they've got scents geared towards men with options like bourbon leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. So it's safe to use anywhere on your body, created by a doctor. They've got tons of fresh scents, and they've got a starter pack for you too. It's perfect for new customers, comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That's up to 40% off your starter pack. Use code DNVR at shopmando.com. That's shopmando, MANDO.com. Support our show. Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, code GNDL.
That's right. No, that's incorrect. It's code DNVR.
Oh, sorry.
Let's go back.
You wish that was the code.
Dude, if I
Let's
You
go back
wish.
to Breckenridge, but we're going to talk about their beers this time because they make a lot of them. They make the best craft beers. They're the official craft beer of DNVR, and they're trying to hook you up right now with the Breck Brew Ice Deck giveaway. 2 VIP tickets on the glass, complimentary food. And
This is
drink.
such a cool giveaway.
It's on March 28th, so it's coming up. You can go to
would it be suspicious if
breckbrew.com.
I won this?
It would, yeah.
yeah.
I think we.
Sorry, are there rules that I should look into?
The
no?
winner is D-Line?
You can enter by going to breckbrew.com/ice deck. And while you're there at breckbrew.com, check out the Breck Beer Locator. Look at some of the spots that sell some of their new beers near you. Check out the West Coast style IPA. That thing's delicious. Sick looking can. Yeah, man, you know about Breck Brew. Go to breckbrew.com, find a brew near you. We're back.
We
All
back.
right. Shout out to Breck Brew, man. And sign up for that Ice Deck giveaway. It's a really awesome experience. It's pretty much just like sitting courtside, but for a hockey game, you're right on the glass. You have your own table.
Yeah, it's
free
like-
food, free drinks.
Like sitting courtside, but if a fight breaks out, it doesn't lead ESPN.
Yeah, you bang on
it's
the
actually
glass.
just part of the game.
I've always wanted to do that. I've never sat on glass since. I've always wanted to just bang on the glass. All right, welcome back into the Winners Lounge. We're here in the Toyota Winners Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. And we're presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Let's get to our new segment. Let's fire it up, Kale. Here we go. The future is bright. Presented by Shady Rays. Fellas, the future is so bright right now. Because I don't know if you saw, Zeke Nnaji turned in the game of his season. 5 blocks. The future is the future bright with Zeke Nnaji, Vogt?
If any other teams are listening,
Atlanta.
then in that case, yes, the future is so bright. Like if you happen to be in the Hawks front office and you're watching this show, you should know how bright the future is.
Totally.
And you probably saw it tonight on tape with the 5 blocks.
I mean, 5 blocks, he does that every game if you're tuning in for the first time.
Don't look too far to the right in the box score. Stop right there at the block column. 5 blocks. Playing his natural position, as the chat will tell you.
It
He is a
natural
natural
position.
four.
Was this just due,
He's
fellas?
such a 4.
Was this always going to happen? I don't know. It's hard to say. But, man, if I were a team that was thinking about making a trade at the deadline, I would at least consider it. You know what I mean? I would at least consider making my own future bright.
First thing.
I don't know what to do with this segment.
First thing, I looked over. Harrison has sunglasses on. His hat disappeared.
Yeah.
What happened to your hat? I had to go.
It's gone.
I had to scrub back. I was like, "Am I dreaming? Was he wearing a hat? What happened?
I
Are you a
can't wear-
one accessory guy? Are you a one head accessory guy at the time?
exactly.
You're not
That-
a hat
that's
and
exactly
a
it,
sunglass.
yeah.
Okay, cool. He doesn't like the Unabomber look. I appreciate that. Yeah, Zeke, his future is not bright at all. I would say he'll go right back to the bench.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Listen.
There are front offices
It was
watching.
great to see him on the court. He shot one of the worst air balls I've seen from 3 in some time, probably since the last time he shot a 3-point shot. His shot is so broken. It was very positive to see him do positive things on the court. Normally we're laughing, ha 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 ha, not because we're mean or bullies. We are mean and we are bullies, but like Zeke has been like
That's just not
deeply,
why we're laughing.
deeply underwhelming. First off, he has to play the 4. We've said this for years. It is not an option to put Zeke Nnaji in at the 5. It is just takes him so far out of his game, which is already so often so far out of the realm of NBA play. But man, it was beautiful. Like truly, it's great when you see guys that have been, scuffling, downtrodden,
Bungling.
grundling, getting an opportunity,
Stumbling down the
stumbling, and 5 blocks is a very big boy number. That is a very impressive number. I don't remember any of them being particularly impressive in and of their own right, but all the same, like that man was active, and that's really all you could ask is that if you're gonna get in, do something.
How about the alley-oop Jamal Murray threw him?
That was pretty sick.
That's a real, like, that's obviously an assist in the box score, but also spiritually to your homie, to your teammate. That's a real assist. That's looking out, man. Oh, Zeke's open. Here you go, bud. And that was the real highlight, man. That was the
See,
real highlight.
I think the future can be a little bright for Zeke. I've said this before, man. I would not be surprised if the Nuggets traded him and on a new team, in a new situation.
Victory card is pulled.
Again, I'm not the first one who said this. The tarot card said this. In a new place, in a new situation, new coaching staff, in his correct role as a 4 guy off the bench, playing power forward, I would not be surprised if he's turned into an NBA player. He should.
I can't tell. Are you
have that
guys
in
doing
him.
the bit with me, or is this real for you?
No, this is absolutely real for me.
all right.
Would you be totally shocked if Zeke Nnaji went to like Oklahoma City and all of a sudden he looked good in 10, 15 minutes per game off the bench?
I'm going to keep it real. I would be a little surprised.
Really?
I
understand the dynamic.
I would not be shocked.
I understand what you're saying.
I wouldn't be surprised because we saw it happen with Trey Lyles. We've seen it happen with other
Jay
guys.
Huff.
Jay Huff.
Thomas Bryant.
Yes.
Zeke
basically-
Nnaji should be good, man.
He should at least not be the butt of all of our jokes.
He's a good athlete.
He
He has
is.
terrible hands. He does have that. He can jump. He had 5 blocks today. Like, I really think if a new coaching staff gets on him, if he just gets a fresh start, I feel like he can give you 10, 15 minutes per game off the bench. That was not the craziest thing in the world to me. There's some really bad backup 4s and 5s out there.
The other thing too, and we've talked about this with Jalen Pickett, is confidence is such a big thing
Yes,
for all these
absolutely.
guys. The truth is, as much as I just was going in, like Zeke Nnaji can play basketball. He actually was quite an effective player at the college D1 level. And
He's been effective at this level before.
and confidence can just go a long way. And he did get that contract, but they just, he's really had no extended runway. And it's not I'm not saying he's should have gotten one necessarily. I'm really not. I'm just saying it gets cyclical after a while, right? Where you're just like, yeah, you start to become the guy that even the dumb podcasters are laughing at or whatever, right? And versus you watch yourself hit a shot, play well for a month, and yeah, all of a sudden that's right. There's more to this than people thought. So confidence is cyclical. I don't think it's ever going to happen here. But again, if I were another front office watching, oh man,
I would take a chance
think of
on
the
Zeke, maybe
possibilities.
not for $8 million a year, but
Well, that's the problem.
Fellas, would you say Zeke is back?
Well, Kale, don't be goddamn fired up, Kale.
oh my God!
Fired up. He's so unbelievably back. Yeah, no, he's not actually back. But that was, listen, it's a long season. You can have fun with it. And also, I think that this segment we just did should count against the 555 minutes that we're trying to count down for Zeke. Like this should be some part of it. Every minute spent talking about Zeke.
Yeah.
In conclusion, Zeke has no future on this team. But I have to agree with the overall premise. I don't think he's completely cooked as an NBA player.
Future's Bright, brought to you by Shady Rays. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code DNVR at checkout for 35% off all polarized
Winford's
sunglasses.
hilarious.
And yeah, I just have to say, like, they'll look better on you than they do. Don't judge them by our faces. That's
So,
not
yeah,
Shady Rays.
We had 3 pairs to pick from in the back of our closet. You have
Yeah.
their whole website. There's no risk when you shop.
I mean, I look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Shadyrays.com, 35% off polarized
Give
sunglasses.
me the one shot.
Do we have the
Kale?
game ball ready? We do. Let's hit game ball. We asked you guys to vote on the game ball. Went to Christian Braun.
That makes sense.
24 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. Browntown, North Carolina. Established 2025.
It's a beautiful
Shout out to
thing.
Christian Braun.
Absolutely beautiful thing. And I love that these now are just being voted on by you. The
I
unhinged
mean, we're
chat.
not.
Not responsible.
We're not educated enough for these, so you guys need
But
to
I
vote
just
on
like it. It's it's cool because that's 2 games in a row that it's not been Nikola Jokic, and basically every time that we try and decide one of these things, it's just by default Nikola Jokic, and we kind of laugh about it, like, oh my God, can we give it to anybody else?
I know.
But I mean, like Chris. I mean, I don't. But honestly, I don't even know if in the end I probably would have given it to you.
If you, the thing is, it's actually still that same dynamic.
Even the chat is suffering from voter fatigue.
Yeah.
We all suffer from voter.
Yeah,
Look,
dude.
when you that chat, you understand now, right? When you get a chance to give it to someone else, you feel
Yeah,
you
dude.
feel obligated.
We're like
to.
the game ball goes to SGA. What?
I don't know if we want to talk about anything else from this game in particular.
I mean, like,
Jalen Pickett played off the bench in this one. No
Look-
Russell Westbrook. No Peyton Watson. It was a hamstring strain for Westbrook. He hurt that last game against Philly, and P. Watt sprained his knee, so both those guys were out. Not really sure how long both will be out. Doesn't seem like either are too serious, but I mean, hamstring strain you got to be careful with for sure when it comes to Westbrook. So I wouldn't be surprised if they missed a couple games here. And Jalen Pickett stepped in. 3 points, +3 in 15 minutes, shot 1 of 4. Pretty standard Jalen Pickett performance. Nothing
Nothing to-
spectacular.
Nothing to write home about, but
Yeah.
it is what Malone said earlier in the year that in these scenarios, he just knows he can play Pickett 10 to 15 minutes.
And I
which
think
is,
he's correct in that.
yeah, he is. He's not a guy, especially against this team. He's a guy who knows how to play basketball, man, and that's when you're down, to the end of your bench. But it's a far cry from last year where he wouldn't even get these opportunities, and this is just kind of where we're at now, right? If a couple of guys are hurt, if a point guard's hurt, Pickett will get some minutes, and good on him. I think he's earned them, and I think he's looked, decent in the relative terms that you would kind of view his minutes.
I
through.
thought he looked good tonight, man. I still like. I'm a believer in his shot. He got one off from 3. Looked good.
One or two
was
from
good. He made some good passes. He comes in. He brings effort, energy, all of those things. He doesn't make bad decisions. He doesn't make a lot of crazy decisions, but he makes solid decisions. He gets the ball moving. He gets, he doesn't really make it about himself. But he can also, there was a shot, one of his patented in the lane shots where he just kind of almost flat-footed went up, but he missed it.
Yeah.
He should have had more. It was a decent game from Pickett, but it's kind of nice on games like this to see guys that don't generally get a little run.
Yep.
Even though it kind of almost ruined our night, but it was good. It was cool to see him.
Yeah, and then Strawther. I mean, these last 2 games were pretty classic for the Julian Strawther experience. Has a massive game against Philly, double digits scoring off the bench, hitting threes, and then today, 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 6, just 5 points. They could have used more from him, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a place, and honestly, right now, you can say the same thing about Mike, where if the threes aren't dropping, it's going to look really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mike's floor is obviously, as it should be with that contract, higher than Julian's in that scenario. But the bad nights for Julian, you're going to go, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Right.
I do think just last night, it wasn't even the 18 points. I thought he had some good hustle plays on defense. I think he can be a helpful defensive rebounder at times. But, you're going to have nights where he's not hitting threes, and it's just going to feel like everything else is too much of an uphill battle. So this was one of those nights. But I would say on the whole, there's been more good games than bad games from Julian lately, and I do trust him on the whole more than I did 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Julian Strawther, I am of the opinion now officially, I think they need to be attempting to move Julian Strawther. I think Julian Strawther's timeline does not match up with the Denver Nuggets. I think that he is very skilled, but he needs more time in the NBA to get his confidence, to get any kind of rhythm, to get any kind of consistency going. And I do think he's going to be a player, but like the Nuggets need this now. You know what I mean? Like they need to, I would hope that they would be able to include his contract to get back. I mean, this is where you'd love, again, like the Bogdanovich. Should the the Hawks decide that is a good package coming back to them with, and then, maybe it's not just Zeke and MPJ, like maybe Strawther is part of that, but I'd like to see Bogdanovich play and take Strawther's minutes,
Yeah.
I don't want to derail. That was a very salient, valid point not to derail. Christian Braun is 20 minutes or 40 minutes removed from that game. He's already tweeting about how to fix the Kansas basketball program,
Oh, yeah, dude.
This guy is so invested in his alma mater.
I mean, they
He's
just
like,
won it. We're talking about how to fix the Nuggets basketball team.
I know.
Yeah.
He says you got to play the guys who care about having Kansas across their chest. And you know what?
Wow.
Christian Braun cares about having Denver across his chest.
Yeah.
God darn it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that from CB. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting heading into Thursday with the trade deadline. Right now, I'm kind of just expecting the Nuggets to do nothing.
It feels that way. I mean, it feels like this every year for the Nuggets, but they actually
Or a really small, inconsequential move.
Have they made a move every year though? For they traded Bones. Was there a move last year?
Maybe.
They've been coming. Like they generally do a deal.
Yeah.
It's usually a smaller deal, but sometimes it's an Aaron Gordon deal. But they usually are acquiring a backup five that they'll end up never using.
Yeah.
But I would be surprised. I would be surprised if they didn't. Honestly, I really think that they have pieces, and I would assume, are realizing that the Project Dynasty thing is. There's probably something there, but I don't know if they have enough right now in some of those players.
Yeah, I just don't know what the potential moves are, and if there are any that really make you any better, or if it's just shuffling deck chairs. But I mean, that might be better than doing nothing. Like if you get a guy that's the same caliber as Julian Strawther, maybe that's better because there's a chance he's better.
But they are bereft of defensive talent on this team. They have one clear defensive playmaker, Peyton Watson.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily reliable in that role at this moment. He kind of gambles a lot. He doesn't play, I would say, sound defense, fundamentally sound defense. He just can make up for it with freak athleticism and a nose for getting blocks. But it's like Aaron Gordon, like you guys have mentioned, we mentioned all year, that should by all rights be the backbone of your defense. But more often than not, he's not providing lockdown defense either. That's not a phrase you can use ever with these Denver Nuggets, lockdown defense.
No, it's not. It's really not. I mean, it feels like maybe they'll do 3 to 5 minutes at a time and it's enough. But
honestly, Zeke Nnaji had some of the best defensive possessions
He could-
guarding smaller guys
that
on
man
the
could-
perimeter that I've seen from a Nuggets player in a long time
That
tonight.
man can move his feet. We said long ago, He is switchable 1 through 5. It sounds like a joke now, but
Future's bright.
He can move his feet. My man can shuffle his feet, and that's true and that's real. So yeah, you're right. But future's bright. Let's go.
Future is bright. Oh, dude, the Rockets lose to the Nets at home.
Did they?
Oh,
See,
what a
you
treat.
see, you understand, chat?
The
Everyone's season sucks.
No, wait, guys. This is gonna make you feel better.
Are you taking us around the association?
a little
Carl?
bit? The Wolves are about to lose to the Washington
Wolves
The
are
Wizards.
about
Wizards lost to the Wizards. Not so easy to beat the Wizards, is it? Not so easy. Oh, hold on. I'm just hearing that it's extremely easy to beat them. I'm
But
getting
that happened.
I
saw a stat float around yesterday. I think the Wizards have one win over a 500 plus team all season.
It's 2 now, baby. Welcome to the club,
I'm not
Minnesota.
even sure the
They
Bulls
have
are
one.
over 500.
They're
are
20. They are. Welcome
yeah,
to the
they are
mud,
over
Minnesota.
500. Yeah.
Yeah, get down in here. We all float down here.
I also saw OG Anunoby like blew up his knee.
That's somebody. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it's
been
either
telling
an
me that.
ACL or an Achilles.
Wait,
It's
the
looking
Nets are
like.
losing to the Rockets too.
No, the Rockets
We're,
lost.
we're like
the
one of
Rockets
these
lost to
rare
the Nets.
sports
Oh my
shows that you
God.
watch to get information, but we actually just get our information from,
From you, the chat.
and then we report it back to you.
I hope OG's all right, man. That stinks.
or if it's real, I hope it's that we're not just saying
That too, yeah. Because
That's
you're
cool.
saying, like, is
I
that
mean-
a fact checker?
I know the Nuggets seem like they could lose to any team in the NBA. Like they could
'Cause they
lose
can.
to the Wizards right now
Right,
because that's
yeah.
definitely possible. But just looking at this upcoming schedule, man, still New Orleans, Orlando, Phoenix, Portland, Charlotte. They should go undefeated. The Nuggets should
Oh my
go
God,
undefeated.
dude. Oh
1,
my
2, 3,
God.
4, 5, 6, 7, and that would put them on a 9-game winning streak.
What do we have
The
to
Nuggets should be about to go on a 9-game winning streak. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I know we've watched them barely win these last 2 games. I would not be surprised if they won these next 9 in a row.
do? Dude, what is
would,
honestly
I would,
going
I
to
would.
happen is
I
that
actually
they're
wouldn't.
gonna rip off a huge
I wouldn't
winning
because
streak.
we know this team plays up and down to their competition. Definitely down. And they haven't beat a good team in a while, but they've squeaked by with some wins against some bad teams. So I would not be surprised if this was the beginning of a 9-game win streak.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it. You've been saying it. I can see it, but I also just I'm not comfortable with the Denver Nuggets.
I'll be
right now.
shocked if they rattle off a 9 game. I'll be
can't,
honest.
like,
with you.
I just
But I think
can't-
they're going to win these games. I think they're going to win the lion's share of them.
Yeah, but I do feel like on the other side, we won't be smiling. We'll be like our hair will be all
Right, yeah, I
messed
don't know if
up,
it'll just be like 9
just
wins.
blood coming out of our mouths.
But I mean, wins
All right.
right that they should. I mean, you're
Not
right.
going to say I told you so.
I mean,
when it happens.
dude, if they do,
I will
please,
say I told you
please
so.
do. Even I'll enjoy that. All right,
All right, let's hit some super chats.
Jeremy J Rock, Michael, deja vu. Jokic saves D line from death on Colfax.
I can't thank him enough, or actually be angry at him enough.
Carrot Hammer, CBGBs have spread to Charlotte.
Oh, I love it.
Vladislav, say it with me.
The Zeke Freak. They're making it a thing.
Freak 22?
He's made it a thing on his own license plate.
FBCA, MPJ got to go. He's supposed to spread the floor, gets 1 touch in the last 5 minutes. Why is he out there?
Why is he out there?
Gordon looks weak mentally and physically. I'm crashing out.
Well, if it helps you at all, they did win this basketball game.
I don't think it helps. Yvonne MBG 62. Me, I hope that at least this game Nuggets get convincing double-digit win. Nuggets, hold my beer. So frustrating. I would hit at least 3 threes of so many open threes that they bricked, mostly MPJ and Strother.
Wait, is Yvonne? What's your contract situation like?
Yeah, you available?
Do you have an NBA opt-out?
Are you Justin Holiday? Nash Sweden, 3 lost on the road, could have easily been 5 in a row losses. No defense. We need to improve roster. Can't just rely on luck and MVP to win the NBA title.
Well, I don't know. Luck, if you mean Andrew Luck, but we have Jokic, so we can rely
Yeah, no,
on
it's
him.
different. Yvonne MBG 62. I'm glad Vogt is back so he can read this properly. We were so close to Project Mega Bullshit.
Ah, Kale, write the report.
report.
Write the report, Kale.
Since our best off-seeding signing is the Jokic move, can Jokic be our GM? I believe in him more than Booth. Uncle Rico's revenge. Big takeaway, just win, baby.
Let's
Rockets
go.
down to Brooklyn right now, 1 game
they
at a
lost.
time. Uncle Rico again. Browntown about to rival Tokyo in
Oh,
population.
let's go. Dude, it is spreading.
Who knows by
rapidly.
the end of this year?
It's a lot of sprawl, I've noticed about
Yeah,
Browntown. Just a lot
colonizing
of-
and then quickly repopulating.
A lot of sprawl, a lot of chain restaurants, a lot of pretty soulless strip malls. All the same. Good on you,
A
Christian.
lot of Starbucks and stuff.
Yeah, dude, a lot of Boston market, a lot of frozen yogurt spots.
Boston Market. Mr. X.
I've never seen somebody in a Boston market.
No, I've never seen a Boston Market. No
I
Win,
saw
no
one
Eric,
recently.
no Dev, no Kale, no Vote. Stop thinking it's me. Good show, Adam, if you're out there. All the Nuggets are good. Where does this rank on CB Great Games, guys?
I mean, pretty high. He was incredible in that first half. Then kind of fell off in the
He
second
did fall.
half.
That
I mean,
was-
it's one of his 3 best games of the last 2. He's done this like 3 times.
Yeah.
in the
dude, he's
last-
on, man. CB's on one, dude.
He's on one.
He's on, dude.
Clear out, everyone.
We are so back, baby. 142 minutes and 21 seconds down, only 412 minutes and 39 seconds until 555 minutes. Are we concerned that Malone clearly doesn't believe in fouling up 3 in a close game? All the Nuggets are good.
That was weird. I mean, fouling up 3 is such an easy decision if you have smart players. Like,
Dude, although I will say that when the ball was in, it was very close. Like Jamal was on whoever got it. I don't even remember who got it. Wong, whatever.
I think it was Smith Jr.
I don't think it was
Smith
Wall.
Jr. yeah.
why'd you just default to Wong?
I don't know, man. He's the one player that has stuck with me through this game. But when he caught it, Wong or whoever else, like Jamal Wong, I said it, whoever
I think it
else,
was
dude.
Smith Jr. I think it was Smith Jr.
It was, he kind of caught it, was almost in the motion right away. Like it was not an easy opportunity to foul before. Like he could have easily gotten caught up for a 4-point play. We would have to be like, Wong,
Right.
It was Nick Smith.
Chad Sheeler, Hart DNVR. Hart, you right back, bro.
Thanks, Chad.
Michael Porter Jr. and I cannot stress. I'm sorry, Michael Porter Truther, and I cannot stress enough. This is not me. MPJ 0 jumper, still 15 and 10. Growth, second best plus minus tonight. Genuinely nice people. We were there. A Hornets fan threw something at us. I feel like you're leaving something out of the story.
what was that
You're setting
something?
yourself up as genuinely nice people, and they just threw something at you. I feel like you're leaving
Popcorn?
out.
Did they throw a Hornet?
Did you ask for it? Did
A
you?
hornet's nest?
Were you making a lot of noise? That's awesome. Way to hold it down.
Way to
walk-
represent. There were a lot of Nuggets fans
Yo.
in Charlotte based on some of the shots from TV.
Every time that they took a panned across the crowd, it was like, there's a Jokic jersey. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Jamal AG. I felt like the people of Charlotte had to be like, how we think about Boston. Like,
Or
I
maybe
hate
it
when
was just
Denver
the
comes to
people
town.
from Browntown coming
Oh.
into Charlotte for the game.
Yeah, that's a great point. It really
Yeah.
is now that Browntown has taken up residence. It's like Puerto Rico in a sense. Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte has like Puerto Rico status. It's like a territory of
Yeah.
ours.
Regardless.
You just venture into Browntown for the game, then go
Takes a
back to
brave
Browntown.
soul. Takes a brave soul to march into the nest and walk out with a
The
W.
Nets, yeah, real intimidating environment.
Post nut clarity. Zeke is on track to being a top 10 player by next year.
Do you think that's an actual photo of post nut clarity?
Yeah,
I kinda do, yeah.
Yeah, I do. That's the worst part, maybe. Kyle M. Hey, D-Line.
Hey, what up?
Post nut clarity again. Hopefully, Hawks GM is listening and trade for Zeke.
I bet I would say that
Yeah,
most
Landry
GMs listen
Shamet.
to
Hopefully
this
he's
thing.
listening.
Yeah. And if he's not, just send it to him.
Yeah, dude. Most GMs are wondering if it's time to fire up the picometer or not, and they want to check on in to see what we have to say.
They trade for Zeke, and their first like presentation to the rest of their front office. Fired up.
They're like,
Landry!
listen, guys, he's so back. We could not let him go.
Uncle Rico, Vogt looks like he's an extra on Super Troopers. It's French for give me my goddamn liter of cola.
Give me a liter of cola. I'll take a liter of cola.
Unit 91. Do you need assistance? Michael Porter
Can't pull over any
Truther.
further. We're already
Can't
pulled
pull
over.
over. Already pull over. Jokic without Mike plus 2.9. Mike without Jokic plus Julian plus 2.8.
Yep.
My
sure.
guy's got personal spreadsheets.
Yeah, Jokic
open.
is bad. We know.
I know. Aaron Wiggins 41 points tonight. What's the Nuggets comp? Christian Brown 19 points in the first half.
no,
Aaron
like
Wiggins?
Aaron Wiggins scoring 41.
Who did he
It,
play for?
it kind of would be like Strother scoring 41.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Who he play for? Aaron
The
Wiggins?
OKC
Thunder.
Thunder. 41 points.
That's
huh?
crazy, man.
That's disgusting.
I really like Aaron
I'm a
Wiggins.
little over this whole OKC Thunder thing. The way
Well,
they're really
get
good
used to it.
and they're complete.
They're going to be this team for the next 20 years.
Yeah, it's not to my liking. I'll tell you that right now. Yvonne MBG 62. Again, Nuggets are like a.
Uh-oh.
All right, let me just read this and make sure.
You're wearing the
don't
right.
read
You're
that.
wearing
What
the,
do we?
Kale, how do you have this up on
we
the
gotta
screen?
say no. Kale, we gotta say no. I'm sorry, buddy. Maddox,
Are you
there are
not
no.
screening these beforehand?
There are no bad
There's
wins.
so many. I'm sorry.
I know. I've always thought about that. There's so many. Like, Listen, I'm on
I
to
really
you, chat.
hope nobody screen grabbed that.
Not even the worst one of the week. I'm on to you, chat. Maddox, there are no bad wins, only ugly wins. Hashtag streaking.
Nope, just two in a row is not
One
streaking.
more game we'll be streaking.
We're streakish.
And then Jeremy J. Rock. My goal is Adam out colonizing. LOL.
I don't know.
I assume he means looking for new markets.
See now
We
that I hear
colonized
that,
Dallas.
now that I
you
read
hear-
that when it's not about the
Yeah.
joke that I'm making, I hear the problem. I
You
do
see the
hear.
problem.
Sometimes you just see it from a different position, like an adult female.
No idea what you're talking about. Adult female, which there's a lot of those. There are a lot
Are we
of the
done?
We're done.
Guys, thank you for hanging out in another Winner's Lounge.
Good job, guys. That was
Great
fun.
work. Thanks for everybody hanging out and offering incredible insight in the Toyota chat.
We had well over 1,000 sickos rocking with us
Yeah.
on a game that I think all of us can agree we did not want to watch, and we didn't enjoy that much while it was happening.
I'll forget this game tomorrow.
But we're all
That's the
happy
beauty
to
of
get
it.
the dub, to get the another win in the win column. We'll never think about it again, but this win, just let it wash over you. We did it, and we're going to go potentially streaking.
Potentially. Maybe after the next game. Everybody have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you guys then.
We all silly like the mayor.